Before we begin, I need to warn you, the stories you're about to hear are deeply disturbing. All three were posted on Reddit by people who experienced something in the American wilderness that they can't explain. Authorities were contacted in each case, but no arrests were ever made. These incidents remain unsolved to this day. If you're easily disturbed, now's your chance to click away, otherwise. Let's begin. This story was posted on Reddit in November 2022 by a user who has since deleted their account. I'm going to tell it as close to their original words as possible. My family owns a small hunting cabin in the Adirondack Mountains of upstate New York. It's about 8 miles from the nearest road, completely isolated. My dad built it in the 90s and we've been using it every fall for the past 30 years. Nothing strange has ever happened there, until last October. I went up alone for a weekend. I do this sometimes when I need to clear my head. The hike-in takes about 3 hours. I arrived Friday afternoon, unpacked my gear, started a fire. Everything was normal. That night I was reading by the fire when I heard something outside, footsteps crunching through leaves. I figured it was a deer or maybe a bear. This is the wilderness after all. But then I heard something that made my blood run cold. Knocking. 3 distinct knocks on the cabin door. I froze. The nearest person should be 8 miles away. I grabbed my rifle and called out asking who was there. No response, just silence. I waited maybe 2 minutes, nothing. I convinced myself I'd imagined it, went back to reading. 20 minutes later, 3 more knocks, same rhythm, same intensity. I yelled that I was armed and would shoot if they didn't identify themselves. Again, complete silence. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in a chair facing the door with my rifle across my lap. Around 4 a.m. I must have dozed off. When I woke up it was light outside. I checked around the cabin. There were footprints in the dirt, bare feet, human feet. They circled the entire cabin multiple times, came right up to every window. I packed up immediately and hiked out. When I got home I called my dad, told him what happened. He was quiet for a long time, then he said something that terrified me more than the knocking. He said, "That happened to me too, back in 2019. I never told anyone because I thought I was losing my mind." We compared notes. Same pattern. 3 knocks. Silence. Bare footprints in the morning. He'd found them too. We reported it to the local sheriff, but there's not much they can do. It's federal land, miles from anywhere. Here's what scares me most. My dad and I talked to some other cabin owners in the area. Turns out we're not the only ones. At least 4 other families have experienced the exact same thing over the past decade. Always October, always 3 knocks, always bare footprints. No one has ever seen who or what is doing this. I'll never go back to that cabin alone, and honestly I'm not sure I'll go back at all. This was posted on a hunting forum in March 2023. I hunt in Olympic National Forest every year. It's some of the densest wilderness in Washington state. I always set up trail cameras to monitor game movement. This year I placed 3 cameras in different locations. 2 worked perfectly. The third one showed me something I wish I'd never seen. I set up camera number 3 about 6 miles into the forest, off any established trail. It's a spot I've hunted for years. When I checked the SD card after 2 weeks I found over 400 photos, normal stuff at first, deer, elk, a few coyotes. Then I got to photo 187, it was taken at 2:37 a.m. It showed a person standing completely still about 15 feet from the camera, just staring directly at the lens. They were wearing dark clothing but I couldn't make out any features because of the night vision. I thought maybe it was another hunter. But then I looked at the timestamp. This was taken on a Tuesday night in March, in the middle of nowhere, 6 miles from the nearest trail. I kept scrolling through the photos. Photo 188, same person, hadn't moved, still staring. Photo 189, 190, 191, they stood there for 47 minutes, across 47 consecutive photos, not moving, just watching the camera. Then in photo 235, they were gone. Here's what really disturbed me. I started looking at the earlier photos more carefully. That same figure appeared in the background of at least 30 photos over the 2-week period, always at night, always watching from a distance. I'd been walking past that camera multiple times to check other spots. They'd been watching me the whole time. I reported it to the Forest Service. They said they'd send someone to check it out. A week later they called me back. They found my camera. It had been smashed, completely destroyed. They also found something else. About 100 yards from where the camera had been, they found a small camp, just a tarp and some supplies. Whoever had been there left in a hurry. They left behind a backpack. Inside the backpack they found photos, printed photos, hundreds of them, all of different hikers and hunters in that area, people going about their business, completely unaware they were being photographed. The Forest Service matched some of the faces to missing person reports from the past 3 years, 5 people who vanished in that forest. One of the photos was of me, taken from behind as I was setting up that trail camera. I don't hunt in Olympic National Forest anymore. Posted on Reddit. No sleep in August 2021, later verified by local news. My girlfriend and I went camping in the Smokies last month. We're experienced campers. We know what we're doing. We hiked about 5 miles to a backcountry campsite, permit number 36. We'd reserved it weeks in advance. When we arrived around 4 p.m. we immediately knew something was wrong. There was already a tent there. A small dome tent, dark green, looked old. We figured someone had taken our site by mistake. It happens. We walked over to ask them to move. No one answered when we called out. I unzipped the tent to look inside. What I saw made me stumble backwards. The tent was full of children's toys, dozens of them, stuffed animals, dolls, toy cars, all arranged in a circle, and in the center was a Polaroid camera. My girlfriend wanted to leave immediately, but I was curious. I picked up the camera. There was a photo in the output slot. I pulled it out. It was a picture of us, standing right where we were at that exact moment. The photo had just developed. We heard a branch snap behind us. We spun around. Nothing, just forest. I grabbed the photo and we ran. We didn't stop until we reached the main trail. We reported it to the park rangers. They said they'd check it out. The next day they called us. They'd found the tent, exactly where we said it would be. But here's the thing. Campsite 36 had been closed for 2 years. Ever since a family went missing from that exact spot in 2019, a couple and their 2 young daughters. They were never found. The rangers had been looking for that tent. Someone had been moving it around the backcountry, setting it up at different sites, always with the toys arranged the same way, always with a Polaroid camera. They've found the tent 4 times now, at 4 different locations. Each time there are new photos in the camera, photos of random hikers who must have stumbled across it, just like we did. The rangers don't know who's doing it or why. What scares me most is that photo, the one of me and my girlfriend. We were standing at that spot for maybe 10 seconds before I opened the tent. The photo was already developed, waiting for me. Someone was watching us. Someone took that picture, loaded it into the camera, and disappeared into the woods, all in the span of seconds. We keep that photo as a reminder that we were lucky. The family from 2019 wasn't. Their tent keeps appearing, the toys keep getting rearranged, the camera keeps taking pictures, and somewhere in those mountains, someone is still watching. These 3 stories remain unsolved. If you've experienced anything similar in America's wilderness, please be careful out there. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more true horror stories every week. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.